So, the first time that I got my periods, I was already sick. I was down with fever. And when this happened to me, I was like extra scared about my health. But another thing is that I was somehow so embarrassed about it. There was so much shame in me about my periods that I didn't tell my friends about it for like 6 months. I wonder why. Like,
I was in grade 8 when I got my first period. I didn't even realize it was my period until a few hours, and when I did, I reached out to my mom. When she confirmed that it was my first period, I was really shy about it. I was really ashamed about the fact that I was getting my period. I did not want to speak about it with anyone. So, all in all, my period experience was really shy, I was really ashamed, I was really confused. A lot of things were going on, a lot of emotions.
I'd gotten my first period when I was 11 years old, and mom र म चाहिँ भर्खर बाहिर गएर फर्केका थियौँ, and I went to the toilet and I saw blood on my underwear and I freaked out. म त मर्छु कि क्या हो जस्तो लागेको थियो, and then my mom calmed me down and she taught me how to use sanitary pads and पिरियड हुँदा चाहिँ के खानुपर्छ, कसरी बडीको केयर गर्ने एन्ड सिकाउनु भयो. And yeah, psych. I wish periods were that simple because I remember feeling intense cramps, not being able to eat or sleep due to my cramps. So yeah, that's my first period experience.
So, I had gotten my first period when I was in grade 6, and I think that's quite early because when I had my first period, I really thought I had gotten hurt. And I was in my mama car, and my mom wasn't around, so it was my maizu who taught me how to use a sanitary pad. And I just remember being mind blown by just knowing how sanitary pads function.
I got my first period when I was in grade 8. अनि त्यसपछि the one thing that I'm happy मेरो first period भएको बेलाको स्टोरीबाट इज त्यतिखेर मेरो स्कुलमा युनिट टेस्ट चलिरहेको थियो. अनि अब एक्जाम त छुटाउन मिलेन राइट. सो त्यो भएर चाहिँ आई डु नट ह्याभ टु फलो त्यो 4 दिनसम्म एउटै कोठामा बस्नुपर्छ, घामलाई हेर्नु हुँदैन, कोही केटा मान्छेलाई हेर्नु हुँदैन वाला जुन त्यो स्टिग्मा छ त्यो चाहिँ मैले फलो गर्नु परेको थिएन त्यतिखेर बिकज अफ द इक्जाम्स होइन. सो इन केस त्यो नभएको भए चाहिँ आई वुड प्रोबब्ली नट बी स्पिकिङ अबाउट माई पिरियड एक्सपिरियन्स अर period in general. Yeah, so that's one thing that I'm grateful about my first period.
Menstrual product I currently use is sanitary pad. I tried using reusable cloths like mamuहरूले जसरी चलाउनुहुन्थ्यो, but that didn't fit my lifestyle, so I still use pads. So I'm looking forward to switching to menstrual cups real soon.
So the products that I use are sanitary pads. I have not tried any other product yet, but I really want to try and shift on to using tampons as well.
Talking about menstrual products that I have used, एकदम धेरै चाहिँ I have used sanitary napkins नै मैले धेरै जस्तो त्यही नै युज गरेको थिएँ. अनि एकदम रिसेन्टली चाहिँ I have switched to menstrual cups होइन. अनि इट्स सुरुमा चाहिँ इट्स स्केरी अनि इट्स अनकम्फर्टेबल हल्का, बट it's ekdamly so much better than pads, and once you get comfortable it's so much easy to use, and also it's eco-friendly, so win-win.
Right now I only use sanitary napkins, but I really want to switch to menstrual cups real soon. And I really hope that I do.
The menstrual product that I've used all my life are sanitary pads. I remember trying to switch to tampons when I went for swimming classes, but it was really difficult and confusing to use. So that's why I'm really looking forward to the session on menstruation where a gynecologist will talk about these various forms of menstrual products. So if you're curious to, sign in this Saturday.
So one major restriction that I face is if I get my period during any cultural festivals like Dasai Tihar, I don't get to celebrate it because I have my period.
सो रेस्ट्रिक्सन्स भनेको चाहिँ या त्यही हाम्रो युजर स्टिग्मावाला किचनमा जान नहुने, मन्दिरमा जान नहुने, बाबा भाइसँग बस्न नहुने, फेस्टिभल्स मनाउन नहुने होइन, त्यही सबैवाला रेस्ट्रिक्सन्सहरू छ. बट एकदम सिग्निफिकेन्ट रेस्ट्रिक्सन द्याट आई हेभ टु टक अबाउट फर मी वाज मैले चाहिँ 2 वर्ष लगातार यिनीहरू आई कुड नट सेलिब्रेट भाइटिका बिकज अफ माई पिरियड्स होइन. अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ द्याट काइन्ड अफ गेभ बर्थ टु अ रेबल इन मी कि म मान्दिनँ द्याट आई वुड नट गिभ इन टु एनी अफ दिज रेस्ट्रिक्सन्स. आई विल सेलिब्रेट अल द फेस्टिभल्स भनेर मैले पिरियड्स भएको बेलामा दसैँमा टिका पनि लगाएँ, भाइटिकामा भाइलाई टिका पनि लगाइदिएँ. सो आई डिड अल अफ दोज.
So I didn't really grow up facing a lot of restrictions. And I wouldn't call myself lucky. I do think this is the bare minimum. But I do remember taking meds once to delay my period so that it wouldn't clash with Dase and I'd get to celebrate it. But I never had to do that again in my life because I remember just not telling people that I had my periods because how would they know, right?
Restrictions that I have to face while on my period would have to be पूजा कोठामा छिर्न नहुने, अनि चाडपर्वहरूमा चाहिँ पन्छेरै बस्नुपर्ने, अनि पहिला चाहिँ घरमा अझै कडा थियो, किचन जान नपाउने, अनि आफ्नै कोठामा बसिरहनु पर्ने, अनि आफू मैले खाएको थाल चाहिँ परिवारको अरू सदस्यहरूको थालसँग सँगै राख्न नहुने खालको रुल्सहरू थियो. आफ्टर long conversations throughout years and a lot of efforts to make my parents understand, to make them see from my point of view, अहिले चाहिँ यस्तो positive changesहरू आएको छ. I think everyone should have these conversations.
A restriction that I face because of my periods is I am not allowed to celebrate major festivals with my family if I have my periods.
One thing that I wish I was taught earlier about periods is period hygiene. कसरी मेन्टेन गर्ने, के गरी डिस्पोज गर्ने, प्याड्सहरू अर ट्याम्पोन्सहरू के गरी डिस्पोज गर्ने होइन, त्यो सबै कुराहरूको बारेमा चाहिँ इफ आई वाज टोट अर्लियर भने इट वुड हेभ बिन सो मच बेटर फर मी एन्ड पिपल अराउन्ड मी. पिरियड हाइजिन रिलेटेड डिस्कसन नै हुँदैन के. पिरियड इज सेमफुल, पिरियड इज इम्प्योर भनेर चाहिँ जुन त्यो स्टिग्मा छ, त्यो स्टिग्माले गर्दाखेरि हाइजिनको समेत कुरा हुँदैन कि यहाँ.
I wish I had learned about the cravings that you get and the mood swings that you get before and during your periods, the cramps, the amount of pain that you will feel. I wish I had learned about that before I got my period, and I wish I learned more about my body in general before I got my period, because menstruation, period, यो सबै सब्जेक्ट्सलाई चाहिँ एकदमै ट्याबु मानिन्थ्यो. So it wasn't talked about often, but I think it's important to have conversations like these with young girls and young menstruating individuals.
Something about periods that I wish I was taught earlier would be about the use of alternative menstrual products like tampons, menstrual cups. I wish that I was taught about the viability, about the benefits of using these products as opposed to only using sanitary pads. And I really wish that I was taught how to use these products the same way I was taught how to use sanitary pads. And by extension, I wish that I was taught better about my own body, about my anatomy. I was familiarized enough with my body so that the use of these products wouldn't be this big, scary, mysterious thing, and would be something that I found more natural and normal and comfortable.
One thing that I wish I was taught earlier about my periods would be about PMS or premenstrual syndrome. I just remember struggling a lot with things like acne, cramps, and even mood swings during my late teenage. So it would have helped to have been taught that this was all due to my periods, because it did take a significant amount of time to just identify that.
Something I wish I knew about periods earlier was the fact that body goes through various changes when you get a period. You get period cramps, the blood flow is sometimes heavy, sometimes light, and you are unaware of so many things. And I think that is one of the reasons why Shida Kranti is organizing a session on menstrual education, where we're inviting a doctor, we're inviting other panelists who will be speaking about so many different important aspects. And so we encourage you to join our session on Saturday 4 to 6 p.m. See you there.